Sometimes life gets hard, and I don't know where to start. Sometimes I feel like a failure, but that's not what's in my heart. I think about my little babies, and I begin to smile. Then I pull myself together and try to write another line. As a woman, I know my worth. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. Gotta follow my dreams, put myself first. Oh yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Journey of Womanhood. Thank you for joining us on tonight. I'm asking you to share, to tag your girlfriend, a sister, someone that you know that will really benefit for tonight. Tonight, I'm super excited. We have two wonderful talented, beautiful young ladies with us, and we're talking to the ladies of jazz. This is another rendition of the women behind the music as we celebrate Black Music Appreciation Month. I'm so excited to have these two young women here on tonight. Listen, ladies, don't forget to tag, don't forget to share, because it's going to be great on tonight as we talk to these young women. We have on tonight award-winning urban jazz pianist Kayla Waters on tonight, and we have vocalist Shacara Rogers West on tonight as well. And they both of them are Howard graduates, studied music, done music, been all over the world, and I'm super excited that they were able to find some time with me tonight and with us tonight so we can just hear their journey in music and jazz and just their journey in general. So I'm going to get out the way. We're going to hear from Kayla Waters and Shacara Rogers West in a few minutes. So you all stick around. Listen, don't forget to share. Don't forget to tag a girlfriend.
Shacara Rogers is a vocalist, songwriter, and vocal coach from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She graduated with her Bachelor's of Music and Master's of Music degrees from Howard University. She has been a lead soloist of Afro Blue, Howard's premier vocal jazz ensemble, and has performed at many different arenas with artists like Patti LaBelle, Diane Reeves, Esperanza Spalding, and many others. In 2018, she released her debut album, 16 Moments, and became an internationally acclaimed artist with her first 4 weeks tour of Russia in 2019. Her most current releases of 2021 include a single called His Will and a full-length album entitled In Jesus' Name I Sing. Over the last 9 years, this wife and mother has won many awards, released 3 full-length albums, 2 singles, a music video, became an internationally performing artist, served 5 years teaching on the collegiate level, and started a health and wellness business. Her future plans include continuing to dedicate her musical gifts back to her Lord and Savior by releasing more Christ-centered music, continuing in her teaching career, and further scaling her business. Ladies, please welcome Shacara Rogers. Award-winning urban jazz pianist Kayla Waters is a chart-topping recording artist, composer, producer, and music director. After signing a multi-album record deal with Tripping and Rhythm, Sony, Kayla made Billboard history by becoming the first female pianist and composer to reign atop the charts at the #1 spot for 6 consecutive weeks. A classically trained pianist who grew up in a jazz household, Kayla made her way into the living room and began playing the family's Brentwood piano. Enrolling in piano lessons at the age of 6, she instantly fell in love with music and fervently began mastering her gifts. As a summa cum laude graduate of Howard University, where she earned her degree in piano performance, Kayla credits her institution for her success. Spiritually grounded, she serves as Associate Music Director at Grace Brethren Church in Maryland and delights in the opportunity to share her God-given gifts of music in ministry. Firm in her faith, and wholly aware of her unique purpose, Kayla never loses sight of God, divinely orchestrating her every move. Ladies, please welcome to the stage, Kayla Waters.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. I wonder why we look like this. This is kind of weird. So just a second. Okay, I guess this is how it is. This is different. Okay. Okay, I think I like this better.
Yeah,
This is better. Yes. Okay, ladies, after our technical difficulties, Kayla Waters and Shacara Rogers, how are you all doing?
Good, doing great.
Also, I am so excited to have you all on tonight. I want to thank you all for carving me in your time schedule and in your schedule. I know both of you all ladies are really busy, but we are celebrating a Black Appreciation Month this month, and we are doing a whole month long of the women behind the music. And I would be remiss not to include the ladies of jazz, which is Shakira Rogers and Kayla Waters. So I first want to ask Kayla, when let's talk about your journey, and I'm gonna be going back and forth with you and Shakira. So we're gonna have just a wonderful girl talk tonight. So Kayla, can you just tell us first, what was your inspiration and when did you start playing classical music or playing the piano, and what was your inspiration as you were growing up?
I just have always loved music. You know, I grew up in a musical household, and as they read in the bio, we always had the grand piano in the living room, and I just loved going, sitting down, and trying to figure out how to play. I didn't know what I was doing, but I thought I knew what I was doing. So I just naturally fell in love with it, and of course, being around a family of musicians, that just fueled me and inspired me as well.
Now your dad is Kim Waters. I mean, how was that like growing up with this this icon, this jazz icon in the home, and you're able to glean on him as you grow up? How was that like?
Well, to me, he's just always dad.
Always dad.
Good Waters. I'm like, who is that? Because I just know him by dad. But
Right, right.
but it was a blessing. Just a huge inspiration, a wonderful role model, and I still learn so much from him to this day. So I mean, he was a huge inspiration to me, and in me wanting to be an artist and me wanting to pursue music, and so it's a beautiful thing.
Awesome. Now, Shakira, now I know that you are a jazz vocalist, and now you're moving towards gospel and inspirational music. So tell me, let's just go back to your journey with music. When did that start?
Whew, that started when I was 5, maybe even earlier. But I started singing professionally, if you would, like in front of crowds in church at the age of 5. So I started in gospel.
Okay,
And my dream at that point in time was to be a gospel artist. And, life and time goes by and changes some things. But I feel like I've come full circle at this time.
awesome, awesome. So, what inspired you to venture out and to continue to write, produce? What's your inspiration behind that?
Well, going through life inspires me and inspires many artists. But I would see as a young kid other singers and professionals and want to do what they're doing. And then see, the people everybody in the church, and if you go to a church, there's probably like those lead singers that everybody sees, that everybody loves, like they're so great. And there were those type of people in my churches coming up as well, who I looked up to, and I just wanted to sing like them, and I wanted to get the claps and the stuff that's important to you when you're a kid. But as time goes on, life, heartbreak, love, children, other people's situations often inspire me. So when I see other people go through things, I tend to write about it. And now God has been giving me subjects and things to write about. And I set out to help people through their toughest moments, their happiest moments, their biggest struggles, their biggest victories through my music.
And music, I always say music is like a form of therapy, really.
Absolutely.
It really can take you to a whole nother place for where you are. Now, Kayla, I see that let's talk about your accomplishments as a pianist, an urban jazz pianist, and how did you get the record deal with Sony Records, Trippin' and Rhythm? How did you how did that happen, and how did you feel when that happened, when that happened for you?
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't even know I was going to get a record deal. Didn't even think I would. My album Apogee, it was already done.
Mhm.
Shacara was on that album. She's on both my albums, by the
Yeah.
way. It was already done, and my dad actually helped me. He had some connects with the label. He was with another label, and we just started submitting it to different people, and Trippin' in Rhythm fell in love with it, and I didn't even have to edit or change anything
Oh,
on the
wonderful.
record, and got signed as is. So I consider that an immense blessing, and they have been monumental in where I am today as an artist. So that was definitely a God given blessing.
And I found out that you made Billboard history by becoming the first female pianist and composer to reign atop the chart. So I want to know, where were you? What was going on during that time when you found out that happened for you?
That was January last year before the pandemic hit. The single, it was actually Full Bloom, a song that I co-wrote and produced with another producer, Michael Browning, very wonderful producer. And that song was actually number one for 4 weeks, and then it was number one for another 2 weeks. And at that point, I made history to have the longest single as a pianist, a female pianist. So I know that that history has been made with people of other instruments like saxophones and things like that, but for a female pianist to achieve that, I was the first one. So that was a huge honor.
Definitely, definitely, and we give all glory to God. I'm
Oh
saying,
my God.
so Shakira,
Mhm.
I see that you are from Philly, and
Yes.
you have performed in different arenas with, I mean, wonderful artists like Patti LaBelle, Diane Reeves, and what was that experience like for you, being in those arenas with these people that you've actually watched as you were growing up, and now God has placed you in the same arena with these people as show people your voice, and you'll be able to do. So how did you feel when that happened for you?
Whew, it was an outer body almost experience. And when you say that, it just kind of makes all those moments kind of jumble together in my mind at one time. And I just remember just wanting a picture with all of them.
Yeah.
Just being like, I just got to get a picture to say I was here so I can show someone one day. And wanting them to hear me, and getting the kind of responses that I've gotten from them about my voice, it was like, wow, like, you like my voice, and this is a giant in the industry telling me that I sound amazing and that they love my voice. And I'm like, okay, guys, so when am I going to get a chance to be like that on that level? So, um, honestly, for a lot of singers and musicians, I think that's the thing. It's like, when am I going to get to that level? But to be honest, I think there's never a that level. I think we're always evolving and changing. And if you're a good musician, quote unquote, I use that term loosely because,
Yeah.
good could be different for everybody. But if you're a humble person, if you understand that you're always going to be a student, if you will admit that you have never arrived and you probably never will, then there's always going to be a that, let me get to that level.
Right.
So, I think even as those people were looking at me and saying, you're great, even I've learned people like Diane Reeves, they're still striving for that level. So it was just amazing. Amazing in short.
Now I'm gonna ask both of you guys, and you can just jump in whenever you feel. How, as young women artists, and you're able to meet different people that you look up to musically, how do you manage your own um inner thoughts about yourself and your talent and the gift that God has given you? Have you ever been in a place where, you know your esteem wasn't that high, or you didn't feel that, you hear the applause, but you don't feel that thing on the inside?
Mm,
And if that's so for you, how did you manage through that to rise above it?
mm. Um, I think for me, I think it just comes from knowing who you are in Christ and knowing who God has called you to be. I know that for me, it really stems from my one-on-one time, my worship time, me getting in my prayer closet and in my word, because He reminds me of who I am, so that when I go out into the world, I can be reminded of that and I can carry that with me. So I know that one-on-one time really sets it up for me to have that confidence and to have that boldness, when I'm standing next to people that I look up to, and you know, and I even venture to say that we are just as great as they are. You
Mhm.
know, we have to see ourselves on that level as well. We're there. Shakira and I are there.
That's right. And Shakira, how do you manage through those?
Uh, I was just thinking about that because those moments are very real moments for me.
Yeah.
Very real moments. And the enemy likes to attack me in my mind first. And
Mm,
he likes to attack me through anxiety and depression, which I know is something that's running rampant
mm,
out
mm.
here.
Yeah.
And he likes to feed me lies that I know are not true about myself. And to be honest, those moments are very, I mean, extremely hard to climb out of when you're in it. It's like you can't see, you can't see through the clouds almost, and it's tough, and you cry, and you. Well, I'm grateful to have a husband there with me to go in, into it with me and be like, no, like no.
Set it down.
And then I write affirmations, positive affirmations on my, I have a poster on my wall where I've written things like, I am talented, I am beautiful, I am blessed, I am worth it, God has a plan for my life, all those things. And it helps me to say them out loud. And a lot of times we compare ourselves to other people. Social media can be the devil sometimes in that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
But you learn how to just not just be happy for the people that you see on there, because like I'm always like so excited to see my friends and my peers and my colleagues doing things that are amazing. But sometimes it can make you feel like, wow, like what am I doing with my life?
Right. Yeah.
Or they're so great, like and and you always have people, like you said, applauding you and saying and singing your praises, other musicians and singers doing it all the time. But then you walk off of that stage sometimes just feeling like, sheesh, what do they see? Like, how come I can't see it? And like Kayla said, prayer and meditation is where you're going to find yourself. You're going to find yourself where God is telling you who you are in his word, where he is echoing his promises that you've heard him say through prayer and meditation, and reminding you that you are who he created you to be, and that the enemy can't whisper those lies to you anymore. So it's an ongoing battle, I think, in
Yeah.
the arts because of the nature of what we do. And then, of course, like I said, social media doesn't help
Yeah.
in that area. But it's just an ongoing battle. And you got to stay in your word and stay prayed up and remember what God said.
And and you're absolutely right. We have Claudia Rogers. She's listening in. She's from Belladonna, and she actually played with Pledge as well. But this is the catch: we have to make sure we don't dim our light. When God has placed you in a position, and He stirred up the gift in you, He believed in you to put you in those places, believed in you to open those doors and give you those resources so you can soar. So we have to always, and you all both are dead on. We have to pray. We have to read our word. We have to build ourselves up on the inside, because what people see is what they see on the outside. They don't see the butterflies and the stomach turning and all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
going on the inside, and the warfare that's in our minds. So that's, you're absolutely right. One more question I have for you. Shakira,
Mm-hmm.
you made a duet album, 16 Moments, and it became internationally acclaimed artist with your first 4 weeks tour in Russia. Can you tell us about that experience?
About the tour. Okay.
Yes,
So the
and the inspiration of your album as well. Sorry,
right. So the tour and the album were kind of two different entities.
got it.
The album, I wanted it to be very transparent. I wanted it to show the many facets of my life, and I wanted it to reflect just real life.
Hmm.
So not everything that I wrote on that album is a reflection of my reality.
Got it.
Some of it I saw other people go through. Some of it, like Hey Mister, seems to be a huge favorite from that
I like
album.
you, Mister.
And I wrote it out of my pain, out of the one biggest heartbreak I ever experienced in my life. I wrote it out of that pain, but I just flipped the story. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of people be like, "Man, I feel that song, and you feel my real pain that was happening," but it's just not the real story. And then I put like my son's first coos on there that I recorded in the middle of the night one night, and I put a conversation with my father on there because my dad is a singer as well. He doesn't sing professionally, but his family, they're all musicians, so I'm guessing like that's where it came down through my bloodline. Uh, so that was the inspiration. It was like my life in real life, like other people's lives, and I wanted people to listen to it and really be able to connect with those stories. Now the Russia tour, actually, one of the most awesome jazz singers in this city. She's one of those people that we look up to in DC. A lot of the singers as a great. She came before us, and her name is Sharon Clark. She had been going and traveling all over Europe and doing these tours, and she told me when I first met her that I remind her of herself when she was younger and starting out in jazz. And so she recommended that I go. And at the time, my children were so small. I think Symphony was about a year, maybe. And I was so nervous, but I was like, this is like a once in a lifetime
Yeah.
opportunity. So I took it, and it was for long weeks, but it was a lot of ups, and there were some downs because I missed my family, and I missed them so bad it hurt, and I cried at
Oh,
night, just missing them. But it was amazing having those sold out concerts, and those people who can't even speak the same language that you speak, running up to the top of the stage and bringing like dozens of roses, and waiting outside of your dressing room at the end of the show just to get a picture with you and an autograph. It was amazing. It was amazing. They treated me like royalty.
wow,
Anything I
you
said I
always.
wanted, oh yeah, anything I said I wanted, those guys made sure that I had it. So it was an awesome first like world tour experience for me. And we played mostly straight ahead jazz, but we did play a few tunes from 16 Moments too. So that was really cool.
That's awesome. Now, listen, ladies, everyone who's watching on tonight, we're just going to take a just a 2 minute break, and we're going to look at the magic and the wonderful gift of this wonderful jazz vocalist, Shacara Rogers. And let's just watch this just really quickly.
The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may tumble, Gibraltar may crumble. They're only made of clay, but our love is here to stay. Give you a silly answer. Oh, don't look at me like that. You don't believe a single word that I say, yet you are the one who's guilty of foul play. Oh, here we go again. You won't tell the truth, but you should know I'm not the only one who saw you. You say it wasn't me, but I have all the proof. And since you're doing this, you think that I would do it too. Baby, I don't mean to bother, but it's me knocking at your heart. I know I haven't been around for a while, but I need something that you got. I've been looking and searching for a love that I've always known. Leaving strings of hearts broken.
All right, that was Shacara Rogers. I'm telling you, she can sing. This girl can sing. Now, Kayla, I have a question for you. When you wrote, one of your Billboard singles, "Full Bloom." Let's talk about that. And what was your inspiration behind that piece?
Well, Full Bloom was actually song number 11 of
Mhm.
12. I'm very strategic about where I place songs, and I love to tell stories with my music. So it's not just a whole bunch of songs thrown on there at one time. Like everything has a part in telling this beautiful story. So Full Bloom is the track right before the title track, which is Co-Evolve. And if you look at the album cover, I don't have an album with me at the moment, but there's a picture of me underground.
Mhm.
And there's a little leaf coming up of Co-Evolve, and that symbolizes the new growth.
Oh, wonderful.
Just a quick backstory of the album. It just really symbolized my time growing with God in a quiet place, in a hidden place. And then Full Bloom is just everything coming back full circle. This was all for a reason. What the lessons I learned, why I had to go through this, why I'm still enduring this, why I'm in this season. And so Full Bloom is just reflecting upon, hey, this is where I've come, and now this is kind of coming full circle, and now I'm ready to bust out of the ground and walk and be who God has called me to be.
Now, you as well has had a lot of different opportunities to perform with a lot of legends such as Stevie Wonder, one of my favorites, Patrice Rushen, Avery Sunshine, Kim Bruce, and Ray Chu, just to name a few. What was that like for you to be on the same stage with these giants in music?
I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
But then it goes back again. I know who I am. I know who I am, and always come prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You know, got to be prepared for those moments. So yeah, I did a lot of praying and a lot of practicing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, anytime I'm around different types of artists, I always stay true to self.
Yeah.
Gotta be humble. You know, I am who I am. I'm not here to try to, you know, get something out of you just for personal gain. I just try to stay true to myself and always be humble and always be who God has called me to be. So that kind of helps me level out a little bit.
Yes, I get it. Now, what was your experience like with Black Girls Rock?
Oh my gosh, that was an incredible experience. I actually got the call a little, I'll say this, the week of. I was actually just supposed to go to the concert.
Right.
I had no intention on playing because I had connected with Kim Burst and she invited me to come up. And then 2 days before, she said, hey, I need a keyboard player to play these couple of songs behind Gladys Knight and Marsha Ambrosius. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have the time to learn this songs. And so I got the songs like a Wednesday night. The taping was on Friday. Had to learn the stuff that same night, drive to Newark the next day. We had a 10-hour rehearsal. Then the taping was on Friday. So I had to just get my little note paper out and write the chord changes and learn fast. So then all my music training and my theory training, that's when all that kicked in and helped me get the job done.
See, that shows that education is key. You know, that's amazing. Yeah. Now, listen, ladies, I want us to stick around and we're going to look at the magic of this beautiful pianist that they call Kayla Waters. All right, that's it. That's Kayla Waters playing the keys like she can.
Hmm.
Look, I want to clap for both of you guys because both of you guys are so gifted and talented. I have a question for both of you all. If you were to, what would you say to a young woman that's really they have the passion for music and they want to do this for a living and they want to be able to get to where you are? What would you say to them as far as their confidence in themselves?
Hmm. I definitely say that they have to learn from every experience because every experience is going to shape who they are, and not to undermine the small experiences because
That's
Kayla and I, we met at Howard and we were in a group called GWN, and we were just a bunch of music majors who loved music and wanted to make music together, and we decided to make it a professional thing and try to make it.
Right.
And
So
that
much.
was pure passion, you
good.
know. That was pure passion. And even those times, and I not even those times, but I think those times were the beginning and very pivotal moments in us as people, as musicians. We took our crafts very seriously,
Yeah.
and we did things for free in the beginning just to get people to know who we were, and just because we wanted to, because we just wanted to play.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would tell them, trust God
Yeah.
and learn from everything, every person, whether good or bad, because there's something to learn from a good person, there's something to learn from a bad person too, what not to do. So, and be professional, like Kayla said, be prepared. Be prepared. I have never been caught off guard. Ever. I knew my lyrics, I knew my music, I know the form of the song. Make sure you come prepared because you will lose work if you are not prepared.
Right.
So that's my quick few.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Kara. You know, stay prayed up, trust God, be prepared. Um, you never know where life is going to take you. And I guess my biggest advice I could say, because this is something that I've experienced and that I've dealt with and I've overcome, don't compare yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't compare your
Good.
talk. Oh, well, this person, they're doing this and they're playing these gigs, and how come I'm not doing
Mm-hmm.
that? And well, how come I'm not there yet? That's because God didn't call you to that path just yet, or He has something else completely different for you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta know who you are, know what your lane is, know what your vein is, and then God will just begin to blossom and allow beautiful things to flourish on your own path in your own
Mm-hmm.
way.
And
So
I
I
would
wanted
add discipline because
yeah, yeah.
it takes discipline to get out of your own way and
Mm-hmm.
push towards your passion. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know if everybody knows this, but I met you guys almost 9 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
you all were Howard. Yeah, we get ready to 9 years. We're getting ready to celebrate our 10-year anniversary at the church,
Sheesh.
and you all was with us in the beginning, and
Mm-hmm.
you all went Howard. I remember when I met Shakira, and I was like, "What you do? You sing?" You remember that night,
I
Shakira?
remember I was trying
And
to
then
hide.
friends.
yes, yes, and then
Mm-hmm.
Shakira brought Kayla in, and we were playing and rehearsing. And one thing I can say about you guys, you were very disciplined. You were very disciplined about your rehearsal. You were on time. You were very disciplined and passionate about your music. I remember one time we didn't even have a place to rehearse, and we went to Howard U
Yep.
in the band room.
Yep.
That's right. I remember that.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Oh man," because I was a band girl back in the day, when I was
Right.
in high school. So being in a band room just took me, back a little bit. So it was
Mm-hmm.
awesome. But you know, I just started thinking about it when you all were speaking about what needs to be done to be able to be effective in that path. You have to be disciplined. You have to be prayed up.
And
You have to
patient.
be
Be
Patient.
patient. Yeah.
Yes, you can't build Rome in a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen overnight. And
Mm-hmm.
things, and I think Kayla said, I think it was Kayla that said, don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. I call it the comparison trap.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what the enemy wants us to do, is compare ourselves to this one, compare ourselves to that one. But the Bible talks about he gives us our own grace. So we're all
Mm-hmm.
uniquely made differently. But
Right.
you know, listen, I have one more question for. I keep saying one more question. I just keep thinking. I'm just every time I look at y'all, I'm just thinking about more stuff to say.
Fine with me.
But Kayla, how do you feel? Are you from D? Are you from DC? Were you?
Maryland, from Maryland.
Maryland? Okay, yeah, I thought so. So you're here in Maryland. How would you? Do you have any well, I know, but do you have any musicians that are really close to your heart, like that you glean from, as you grow in your musical career?
In the area?
No, not in the area, not just in the area, just period.
Like, does this have to be somebody I know or just
Mm-mm.
people that I just
Just,
look up
just somebody that's an inspiration to you, and that you
to?
listen to, and you just glean from.
That is a hard
It
one.
really
I
is.
feel like I have so.
Is it? I know.
Uh, yeah, outside of my dad, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll give somebody that I've just always looked up to and always have inspired because he stayed true to himself and his music is just so positive and uplifting and beautiful. That's Stevie Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Stevie Wonder because he's timeless. He's a true musician. I love what he stands for, and yeah, he's to me he's the essence of longevity in
He
this
is.
industry.
He
He's
is.
had
Yeah,
a
I agree
beautiful
with that.
career, a clean career.
Hmm.
I just love his music.
What about you, Shakira?
I was sitting here like racking my brain. I feel like I have like some there's different categories. There's people who are like your peers that you look up to.
Yeah,
Then there's people who are the greats that you look up to. Then there's people who have passed away that are like
yeah,
that started the
yeah.
legacy, like the jazz
Yeah.
people, like Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah
Oh, yeah.
Vaughan,
Oh, yeah.
two of my complete favorites, and Betty Carter. I mean, I could go forever.
I know you can. I knew that was a hard question.
Yeah, it's always either like who do you look up to, who's your favorite artist, or like who are you listening to at the time. It's just like everybody. But um but just to pick one out of the blue, I'm trying to pick someone who's still alive. Uh mm, I'm gonna say, man, that's tough. Ooh, I don't know.
I had to pick one. I had to pick one.
Wow, wait. Okay, I'm just gonna say Shaka Khan
Oh, I love that.
because
Yeah,
again, like Stevie, she's one of those people who's like still kicking and her voice is still there.
she
Like
still
she
got it. She
she don't
still.
have that old lady wobble. Like it's
Oh,
she she still hollers today. And I mean, the funk, she I've seen her singing jazz. She's versatile. And I don't know, that's just off the top of my head one of the people. And so yeah, she's versatile. Her voice is still very strong, and she has a thick story too,
yeah,
like
she
her
does.
life story, her
She
career
does.
story, and she's like still here. So Shaka, I'm good with that today.
Um. So, what's the old lady wobble?
The old lady I was like,
Okay.
hey,
Get the little cane out.
Oh my God, I can't.
every time.
Well, I'm gonna make sure I don't have no old lady wobble over here. And
Look,
that'll
we might get it. I don't know.
I
I
pray.
don't even know. If I get it, I'm definitely gonna rock my old lady
I,
wobble really hard. Really hard.
now, on the flip side, how do you, as artists, deal with performing, writing, singing, playing, teaching through your low times?
Whew.
I'll
Go
tell
ahead,
you,
Kayla. You go first.
struggle. Woo, because I feel like I've felt that a lot the past
Yeah.
year and a half. Just getting through.
Mhm.
yourself,
Yeah.
your mind, your
Mhm.
emotions, and then
That's
you still
right.
have to be creative and you still have to write music because people are looking for you to
Yeah.
help them out, but then you're down. So
Right.
Mhm.
it's a tough place. But for me, and I've done this a lot more. It's just if I know that I'm not really in a good place to create, then I'll just take a few days to rest because
Mhm.
I don't
That's
want
good.
to create out of. I mean, I do think that music helps me through
Mhm.
those times, but I don't. I also am sensitive about not wanting to put that level into my music. I don't want people to feel that. I want them to
Mhm.
feel happiness and joy. I don't want
Got it.
when they listen because ear gates are impactful what you
Yes.
listen to, and I don't want sadness to be in my sound.
Right. That makes sense.
But
That's
so I
good.
want God to work on those areas of me so the next time I go back to create, my heart is healed and
Yes.
I'm whole, and what I'm releasing is a pure sound. So
Mhm.
I would say I just take a few days to be okay, self, it's okay. Let's just rest for a second and
That's good.
unwind,
Yeah.
and then go back and approach it, and then we're ready, and when God is ready for us.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'd
Shakira.
say that's when my professionalism kicks in.
Hmm.
I can I have become really good at putting on a face, to be
Mm,
honest. I especially as a parent, with the kids, I could be coming out of anything and have to jump on Zoom and teach like 4 lessons in a row.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just go if you've been crying, if you've been down, you just go in the bathroom, wash your face up, put something nice on, maybe put a little makeup on so you can look bright, and showtime. The
Keep it.
lights come up.
Yeah.
And I've learned through my career that when it's showtime, it doesn't matter what's going on. You gotta sing. You gotta get up there and get that mic and do what you do,
That's
no matter what. Nobody cares if they bought a ticket. They
that's
just
true.
want a show.
That's true. That's so
So
true.
that being able to step up to the plate, I just have to. All right, it's time to do what I have to do.
Mhm.
You know, and I learned that even pushing through it, like Kayla said, like you could find that you can still help somebody through your stuff.
Mhm.
And that's something I think that the Lord has blessed me with is the ability to help other people through their trials, even if I'm going through my own. So, and then on the back end, I have support systems, friends, and family who can pour into me, which
Yeah.
is important. So and then on top of that, when you go into that lesson, who knows what they're going to dump on you
True
or
that.
whatever you're going into, because lessons, let it be known, lessons are not just music. Like people come in there with all kinds of issues that you end up just talking about for a second.
That's right.
So I'm in there dealing with students, talking about things a little bit. You don't want it to be too much, but like
Yeah.
talking about stuff and giving advice, and then you got to learn how to dump it afterwards and not
That's
keep
right.
other people's energy or situations and burdens because you have your own. So you got to be able to dump it. And when I dump it, I go pray. I say I release it. God, take it. Pray on it, and do your best to just move forward.
Yeah. Kayla.
on the say that one more time. Let me say. Did I
Oh.
miss the question?
Oh no. Yeah. So, how do you detox your day?
Oh goodness, these questions. I'm telling you, these questions are things that I'm working on. How to detox
Well,
my
that's
day.
a good thing. This is a good thing.
Oh goodness. Well, first for me, it comes with learning what my cutoff point is.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's good.
Mhm.
What is my cutoff point? Because I'll get home and say, all right, I'm going to rest. And then I get an email. And then I was like, oh, I got to get back
Mm.
to the email. Oh, no, I got to. So
My
I have to
goodness.
be better at having a hard stop.
Hmm.
That is, for me, mental, number one. And then from that point, I can really rest and relax. Sometimes it may mean putting my phone on Do Not Disturb
Yeah. Yeah.
or
I've
turning my
done
phone off.
it. Good.
Um, but that's one big thing, having that cutoff point, and then let my rest be rest. Like we say, let our yeses be yes, and
Mhm.
I need to let my rest be rest.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's right.
That's something that I'm really trying to work on. If I say rest for a day, then rest.
Me too.
Yes.
So that's a big thing.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, those are very that can shift. That can take you to that shift that you need.
Hmm.
Especially when you had a long day and you're detoxing your day. My last question to both of you girls are: what's next? What's next for Shakira, and what's next for Kayla?
You go, Shaq.
To be honest, I don't know. Like, I'm in a place right now where I just had to be reminded by God,
Mm-hmm.
don't forget what I said. Don't forget what I said. Don't forget who I made you and who you know that you are. Because I get this thing where I just start being like, oh, maybe I should do this. Maybe
Right.
and being like, oh, this looks fun over here, getting bored or whatever, or
Yeah.
getting sidetracked and be thinking about like doing something completely different. Cause I just be
Yeah.
hopping around.
Yeah.
But like
I
but
get
I
it.
think I've recently started to recenter and I've jumped back into the production and writing thing because I hadn't written since the last His Will
Oh,
release.
okay.
So which was recent. That was this
Yeah.
year. Something like that. So yeah, it was the beginning of the year. So I said, well, let me, not even just because like let me just do what's next, but like I'm trying to just like A, listen to God, B, listen to my body and
Mhm.
my mind and like what I want to do and what I need. And music, like Kayla said, for me is healing and going through these processes and writing this music and creating, it's therapy.
Yeah.
It's really therapy.
Yeah.
And so, being a parent, having kids running around, it's hard. Like day to day, I'm with these kids all day because they're not in school right now. So, when I sit down and try to produce, I have like wherever I go, they're going. So here they are in my lap, banging on the piano, and I can't record anything.
Yeah.
So I have to navigate them. I have to navigate my mental, my husband's work schedule. It's a lot that I have to navigate.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it can throw me off and be like, I don't even know what's next. I mean,
Yeah.
what's next? Clean the bathroom? I don't know. So
I love it.
I'm just trying to honestly hear from God and get some clarity right now. But
Yeah.
as
That's
of right
good.
now, I am just creating music
Yeah.
and making sure that it's music that God has given me, messages that He's given me, because I have committed myself to singing Christ-centered lyrics. I'm still singing jazz style, R&B style,
Right.
but all of my lyric is Christ. And I've even
That's perfect.
rewritten lyrics to my straight ahead jazz tunes. And
Oh,
yes, the calls
wonderful.
have dwindled because people are like, oh, well, she's not singing secular music anymore. And that is hard. That's been
Yeah.
hard within itself.
Yeah. I can
Cause
imagine.
like I was always bombarded with calls. And some calls are still coming. But it's like, oh my God, Lord, what does this look like? What
Yeah.
does this look like now?
Right. Right.
Oh my goodness, I've spent all these years building this, and now you're telling me to tear it down? What? Or
Yeah.
redirect?
Yeah.
But I'm just moving forward in faith, understanding that He does have a place for me that I was going to eventually get to, but I'm going to probably get to faster now from being obedient
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and just again exercising obedience.
Mm-hmm.
That is
That's
what I'm
it.
doing right now and trying to make sure that I hear God clearly. And so but I did have an idea to start some type of like video or YouTube posting
Oh.
where I literally just like worship. And I
Mm.
believe that I am a worshiper and that I teach people how to worship. And
Good.
so that might be something that I need to do, is to post videos worshiping, literally just teaching people how to get into the presence of God.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Kayla.
It's an interesting question. Hey, wherever God takes me. I mean, I have some things that I'm pursuing. I'm passionate about producing as
Yeah.
well. Um, it's a way that I worship, which I think is interesting. Like I feel like when I'm creating and when I'm writing, that's really how I connect with God the most. Um, and I really want to take it on a do that on a larger level. Um, Looking forward to getting into film scoring. It's something that I really want to do because I love telling stories and painting stories, and to me, that's what film scoring is all about. So I'm looking forward to getting um, involved with that. And I'm just kind of open to
Hmm.
wherever God wants to take me. Growing up, we have these set ideals of what we think we should be by what certain age, and I've been forced to strip that away from me, and I was at this place where, hey, God, I'm yours.
Mhm.
You know, you're all I have. And so I want to do your will. So
And
that's where I am.
I think it's interesting how both of you guys, and it shows me a sense of maturity as well, because you all, when you said how, sometimes you have your own expectations of your life and what you want to do, and then you get into a place where, like Shakira said, you want everything God centered, and you want to be able to live according to His will, and live according to His plan for your life. And a lot of times we don't really know what God's plan is, but we believe Him, and we believe His instruction and blueprint and navigation to what He wants to do. And
Mhm.
how do we do that? We listen, we hear. Sometimes we, like Kayla said, we just stand still and just wait, and like Shakira said, be patient for the direction. So I just believe, and I see that both of you guys are going to go exactly where God wants you to go, and that's, as long as you're in His will, you're in the right place. You're in the right place, and He's always going to, supply all of your needs. I'm really so proud, so very proud of these two young women, just striving, doing the doggone thing in Him, in God, and yes, we have our ups and downs. That's life. But we lean into the rock that's higher than ourselves, and we just let God do the rest. So listen, I'm so happy and thank God for you all for coming and taking this time, to just explain and to talk about your journey in womanhood, on your path to music, and just your journey of being young women, young women living and living according to His word, and going through what you're going through, but getting out of it and going up and down. This is just a life thing, just life cycles that we go through. Shakira, I had called her one night, late one night, and when the Lord gave me the journey of womanhood to start this broadcast, I was looking for a song, and I was just looking, and I was actually going to use someone else's song, like something from the radio or something, and I didn't really know. I was like, hey, do I have to get permission? Is that, is this a copyright thing? I wasn't really sure. And I had I checked out on YouTube this really short story, and I saw this song called As a Woman. And I said, Shakira Rogers, when did she write that? And I thought, I just, I'm trying. I keep, Pastor and I really keep a close eye on what both of you guys are doing. He'll call me and say, hey, did you hear that new thing from Kayla? Did you hear that new thing from Shakira? Yo, I didn't hear. Let me go to Apple Music. So we try to stick, close to what you all are doing. And I said, when did she write that? That just really snuck up on me. So I played it, and I said, "Oh my God, this is the song! I got it." So I called her like 1 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah.
And I talked to her, and I said, "If you sleep, just call me tomorrow." Like, she was up, and I was like, "Yes." So,
Yeah, I was up. I think I just done like a recording or something. We were doing.
oh man, I said, "Can I use your song?" Do
Like,
I
go
have
ahead.
permission? And she was like, sure. So I was so grateful for that. And every time I have a show, there's always somebody that calls me or see me and say, who's that singing, or what song is that? And I tell them about you. And I'm just grateful that she gave me permission to use this song, because it's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
But listen, you guys, I am looking forward to hearing more of your creations, that the Lord is leading you to continue to create, and just stay in the saddle. Just keep doing what you're doing, and don't give up. Continue to believe in yourself. Know that this is not it. Whatever God has for you is going to be more impactful, and that people are watching you and watching your walk, and excited about the music that you're putting out and things that you're doing, and even your paradigm shifts, and even like what Shakira was talking about, God is shifting her to another place. That's a great thing too, because trust me, as you shift, he's shifting with you, and whatever he has for you on the other side is going to be good. And
Mhm.
Kayla, you continue to play. I was watching you play, and I'm like, how's she moving fingers so fast? I mean, the things.
I have no idea.
I know. I watched you all
Oh,
those years through her.
I'm
She was
like,
the only one in the practice rooms for hours.
Yes. I'm like, oh my God. And I mean, but practice makes perfect. You have to be with anything, not just music, but whatever. And I'm talking to anyone who's listening on tonight. Whatever you put your heart to, whatever God places in your heart for you to do, whatever your dream is, whatever your aspiration is, whatever your goal is, just be consistent and be
Mhm.
patient and be disciplined. If you do those three things, you're going to, and stay in prayer, of course. Prayer is always, prayer
Absolutely.
works. But you do that, you will not miss it. God will be with you every step of the way. Listen, you guys, we have Kayla Waters and Shakira Rogers in the house. I'm super excited that Pastor said he loves both of you. I'm
Oh,
super
love you too, Pastor.
I'm super excited that you all came here and to grace us with your presence and talk about your story. And just know we love you and just continue to be a blessing to those around you and those that know you and those that are listening to your music. Shakira, how can someone find you if they need a singer or if they need just some just to get in touch with you? How can they get in touch with you?
ShakaraRogers.com. That's ShaCaraRogers.com. There you can email me. There you'll find all the information for my social media stuff. And all of them are Shakira Rogers, all my social media stuff. So if you did want to find it, just type that. But the website, everything's there. Music, blogs, whatever you want.
And one more thing, Shakira, you had also embarked into a business. So can you
Yes.
just talk about that in a few minutes?
During the pandemic, I started to study for a holistic health and wellness certification and a holistic nutritionist certification, and I got them both. And I opened up the website Be Natural Health and Wellness, B, just the letter B, then spell out natural health and wellness.com, where I sell handmade shea butters. I make all this stuff myself. So I have handmade shea butters. I have healing salve, different teas. I mean, you name it. I've got I've got a bunch of pathic, holistic things there, and I also coach. So I was exploring those things for myself, and then I realized that our people are living in a way that they have no idea that we were meant to live,
Mm,
and we are being targeted, to
yeah,
say the least,
yeah,
by all of these large companies and food companies and industries that just want our money but are killing us with their products.
I agree with that.
So I set out to try to spread the word to help people to live healthier lives, whether it's what you put in your body, on your body, the spiritual alignment piece, because I did a meditation album. So my second album was a meditation album that I did all in house, just to get people to relax. And I use all this stuff myself. Like when I'm freaking out and having my anxiety moments, Derek just turns on that album, the meditation and prayer album, and I'm asleep before the first track is out. So
Wonderful.
it
Awesome.
works.
So you guys check her out.
Hmm.
Go on her website. Get that meditation album. I know I will be definitely purchasing that. And just keep in touch with her. Check her out if you need a vocalist or any vocal training. She is your girl. Now, Kayla, if someone wants to get in touch with you, want to book you for a gig or some type of show or something, how can they get in touch with you?
Yep. I'm the same too. You can go right to my website. I am KaylaWaters.com. You can send me an email, subscribe to my mailing list, it has all my social media handles. So everything, I am Kayla Waters.
Awesome. Listen, you guys, thank you so much for joining us on the journey of womanhood. Hey, don't forget to join us next Tuesday, you guys. If you all tag, invite a friend. We will have Ayana Crawley with us on next Tuesday. We want to have a wonderful time, and you all just continue to be blessed. Listen, this is the women behind the music, and we were featuring the ladies of jazz. You all have a wonderful, wonderful night, and we'll see you on next Tuesday, same place, same time.
Yeah.